Well, it's extremely appropriate to wear the top I'm wearing today. Reason why is because I have some Moldavite for you. And wearing Moldavite certainly makes you feel like a lion, strong, powerful, intuitive. So what should we talk about with Moldavite? I was trying to think I think we should talk about how it makes us feel, when we wear it. Now, let's start to get these. Okay, so let me just show you 8 new pieces that I've just finished working on. So let's see if we can. I'm going to show you the first one here. It's the first beauty. Oh, gorgeous. The second beauty. Oh, yummy. The third beauty. Oh. The fourth beautiful piece. Look at that. Even Lily, the lion, is barking. Hey, Lily, Lily, did you know you've got... Oh, my God, look at that. Just look at that. Wow. Lily, that's your new name, Lily Lion. Look at that one. Gorgeous. And this one, look at this beauty. Oh, yeah, gorgeous. Have you seen a doggy? I'd bet that you've seen a doggy out there, right? She's loving being in the window. So, you've just seen my latest collection. Let me just weigh them. So 9 grams, and I think this is the lightest, 6.3 grams. So they're between 9 and 6 grams. Beautiful. Wonder what that one weighs. Ah, that's 10 grams, 10.4 grams. That's the really big one. It's gorgeous. They're all beautiful. Anyway, so there you go. Gorgeous pieces going on markbajerski.com shortly to, complement the beautiful collection of Moldavites that I have there. So, wearing Moldavite. What are the benefits of wearing Moldavite? So, in a morning, when I put a piece of Moldavite on, before I start my healing work, as I start to put energy into crystals, I normally go for a Moldavite. If I ever go out and I'm meeting certain people in a place where I'm not really, where I'm not sure what the energy is like, I put a Moldavite on. If I'm going to do some writing, some really, intuitive writing, some real good writing, like just flows, I put a Moldavite on. If I'm like thinking about producing something that I've never produced before, if it's a new idea, a new thought, a new feeling that I want to inspire by and I want to create something, anything to do with something new, something powerful that I don't know about, I put a Moldavite on. So anything in a positive sense or possibly a negative situation, I wear Moldavite, put it on, just put it on. When I'm wanting to do my real deep intuitive work, when I'm like channeling things that I think are really important for me to know, I'll put a Moldavite on. If I'm going to, if I'm going to a spiritual circle somewhere else, if I'm involved with a group of spiritual people, I'll wear a Moldavite. If I'm doing a show, for instance, in London or wherever it may be in the world, I'll put a Moldavite on. If I'm going to not so much astral travel, but if I want answers through the night, if I want to be the strongest I can be, if I want to have a night when I wake up with knowledge that I've had through the night, almost like a memory catch, I'll wear a Moldavite. If I'm doing any kind of how do I put it? Let's say heavy work. If I have to deal with something really heavy. So if somebody's, you know, in a really heavy, bad place, I'll wear a Moldavite. So really, when you think about it, everything that comes first, everything that's majorly important, like me working on crystals, I'll wear a Moldavite. I'll just throw it straight on and start working on the Moldavite. If I have to be somewhere where it's challenging, I'll wear a Moldavite. All of these reasons is because Moldavite, it's not just a protector, but it's a creator of frequency. And that frequency is extremely powerful for your needs, especially if it's a protection, especially if it's something to do with, you know, opening and being more aware, channeling, you know, just being that channel. Moldavite helps. It just does something to you that changes your vibration, that makes it easier through challenging moments of the mind that tries to stop us when we're doing healing, or just when we're trying to be creative. Sometimes our body is not functioning on all cylinders. So when you wear Moldavite, it's like it clears that negativity, which is the block, the trauma, the physical issue, anything like that, to bring balance to the body, to bring a frequency that is needed from the body, because the body isn't producing the vibration that it needs from your aura to create those very things. So cleanses, clears, awakens, strengthens all your chakras, and they're not just here, they're all over, the knees, the bottom of your feet, the elbows, they're all over, shoulders. You've got a lot more than you can imagine. You've got hundreds of PowerPoints that you need, that need to be in a high vibration. When you wear Moldavite, it lifts you up to that vibration. Does to me, does to a lot of my clients, does to thousands of my clients, does to possibly tens of thousands. So it's incredible how it works. And everybody keeps saying, oh, you know, they're big, beautiful, I can't afford. Don't worry, buy a little tiny piece, because a little piece is fantastic as well. I buy big pieces because my clients want big pieces. They want nice chunks. They want me to go to Maliklum. They want me to go to Besanits. They want me to go and pick up those crystals. And there they are. These particular ones that you've just looked at are 925 sterling. All my jewellery is 925 sterling, or rolled gold, or solid gold. I don't do nickel, I don't do any other, I don't do copper, I only do silver, because silver is good for the body. Gold, good for the body. It's a healing, put it this way, when gold is on you, it seeps into you. It seeps into you and heals you. That's why rings of old 200 years, you see that they're worn out. They're worn out because they seep into your skin. I don't really have the word for it, but they go into your skin and they heal you. So, yeah, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. One of my most memorable moments with Moldavite was when my body actually lifted from the ground, and it was the first time I've ever touched a Moldavite, and my body didn't lift per se. I didn't float off the ground, but I thought I was floating off the ground because something happened with my consciousness that lifted me out of my body, and my perception was I was floating, and it was phenomenal. And it was that moment when I thought, you know, there's something interesting about this crystal. I need to look into it. And from that moment on, I've never looked back. I've never looked back. Yeah, walking a dog. Lily, it's okay, baby. It's okay. It's okay. Have you finished? Have you done? She does that at the end. There's always a at the end. What's that mean? What does that mean? It means that you want to go and say hello to that doggy, but yet when you go and say hello to that doggy, you're not even bothered about that doggy. You're not really bothered about other dogs. You don't really play with many dogs. What is it? Take after your father, eh? So from that moment on, where I need to look into this, I need to figure out what this is, to this very moment, there's never a day that I don't work with Moldavite. Imagine being with Moldavite for 20 years and always working with it daily. That's phenomenal. Literally now I have this collection here, and now I'm working on another collection over there. Then I've got another 800 or 900 Moldavites in there, some small pieces. I'm literally working with them every day. You can't say that Moldavite doesn't work. You can't say that. So many people are so adamant that Moldavite is dangerous and bad and it doesn't work, or it's all a fallacy, it's all a joke, it's woo-woo. You can't say that unless you've worked with it for a number of years. You can only really say something if you've worked with it for so long. And after 20 years of working with it nearly every day, who are you going to listen to? Are you going to listen to somebody who's picked it up for 5 minutes and said, oh, it's horrible, or no, it doesn't do anything? Or are you going to listen to somebody who's worked with it for 20 years, nearly every day? All right, choice is yours. But I tell you, it's fascinating. Some people just have the frequency that they pick up on it like that and they're blown away. Some people, it can take months. I've even known people that take years that never got anything, and then all of a sudden they've gone, wow. I can't believe it. I'm like, yeah, I know. I've heard it many times. Why is that, Mark? Why didn't it do anything for me? Well, I've no idea. The only thing I kind of see is that sometimes we create an energy around us of protection, or the trauma or issues or suffering or pain, that sometimes we're just not ready for it. Sometimes we're not in that place for it. Just like awakening can only come at the right moment. And also this idea that I have where we're like a boring tool with energy penetrating through all the layers of the onion of your emotions and the pain and suffering. Well, sometimes it can go straight through instantly, and sometimes you have to bore and take weeks, months, sometimes years to get through and penetrate that consciousness because of all of those layers. Who knows? But what I do know is a healing session always provides great information. So when you're giving a healing session to somebody, they might not feel anything for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 45. Then boom, at 50 minutes, then they're like all over the place. And then after the hour session, they get up and said, well, it wasn't until the very end that I felt so many things. And it's like, yeah, probably because the healing was penetrating through, getting through to the layers of that muck and dirt and fear and weakness and pain and suffering, to now you can feel the real you. You can feel energy now for the first time that's penetrated. Now you can heal strongly. Now you can work with that energy. That's the same with Moldavite, same with many crystals, to be fair. Most crystals do that, but they can take time. But sometimes they can just, boom, happen in an instant. That's why it's fascinating. This field of work of crystals is fascinating, and everybody wants to know how it works. And there is no such thing as knowing how a crystal works. Nobody knows. Only guesswork. And what we can say is, I know how it worked for me at that moment. That's real. But you can't say it's going to work for that person for that reason that it worked with you. So it's interesting, and that's why I've been so involved and so in the energy of crystals, because they fascinate me. And one day in the near future, people are going to wake up to the realization that science is going to catch up and realize that crystals hold some frequencies that they can't explain, but they will be used in many things. Things of lifting heavy objects. It will be used for, I believe, maybe vibrating people out of frequency or vibrating things out of, like stuff that can't even be understood, just laughable. But eventually one day we'll see that the frequency in minerals and crystals are so unique. And if we can just figure out what that frequency is, I mean, we're nearly there now in this field of work that we're in. But there's also the interesting part of science, which I explained to you, that the military industrial complex went to Bajerski and basically stole truckloads of Moldavites. Now, why would Russia want to take loads of Moldavites? Why would they want to steal them? Well, they did steal them. They gave them some money just to clean the town up. But why would they do that? Unless there's something very special about Moldavite. There is something in that frequency. I mean, we put jewels into watches, old-fashioned pocket watches. Why? Because they give balance. There's something about the frequency that holds the time and the balance so well. And what they're used in so many computers now. And I just, when people mock and ridicule the work that we do and what we speak about, it's just a stone's throw away from science and what they figure out what a crystal does. And we're normally about 50 years or 100 years ahead of them. So, hey, try a Moldavite, give it a go, see how it feels. And I don't think you'll be disappointed. Whatever happens, it will help work with you, strengthen you, purify you. It will help open you up, and hopefully you will be able to see things that you've never seen before. Literally, Moldavite is fantastic. I'll just get these on the website now, wishing you a lovely day, and put one link below, and that's for Mark Bajerski Moldavite collection. Hope you appreciate them. If not, get down to your local crystal store, support them, and ask them for a genuine piece of Moldavite. Take care.